Hi. Hi. Today we shall be developing structural equation model, meaning that SEM model in brief. And here we have few unobserved variables such as number one variable is depression, number two family environment, and number three economic situations. And here these variables are unobserved, meaning that no real data are there. So that is why unobserved variables. And these variables also called latent variables. Same thing, latent variables or unobserved variables are same thing. And here I shall develop a model on a depression patient model. So that is our topic today. And what I have done here, I have asked 400 depression patient and I have collected data. Okay, and here I have made them following question. I have actually asked them, not made them, asked them following questions. So these are the questions I asked to them, right? These are the questions I asked to them from here to here, right? Okay. Okay, suppose I told you that I have three variables. One is depression, that is here, and second one is family environment, that is here, and the third one is the economic situation, that is here. Okay. So the first question, number one, do you feel sad all the time? And that variable is A1, right? And the second question is, do you feel to harm yourself? That is A2. And number three, do you feel hopeless? That is A3. So these A1, A2 and A3 are the indicators to measure depression. And these three, A1, A2, A3 are observed variables because they have real data. Or also we can call these A1, A2, A3 as measurement variables. They are also called measurement variables that can measure depression. Okay. And also we call them indicators. A1, A2, A3 are also called indicators to measure depression. Okay, so my second unobserved variable, family and environment, right? Family environment. So first question I make, do you feel someone in the family is active against your interest? That is B1. Number two, family income is not enough to support your livelihood. That is B2. And number three, domestic violence is affecting you. That means violence inside the family is affecting you. That is B3. So here is also here is also three indicators, B1, B2 and B3, and these three indicators can measure family environment. And the last one, last unobserved variable is economic situation. Number one, economy is going down very fast, that is C1, and likely to lose job very soon, that is C2. So here is only two indicators, but here you can see there are three, 1, 2, 3, suppose, and here is also 1, 2, 3, but here is only 2, right? Okay. Okay. Okay, now actually there are here I have set 5 Likert scale. Suppose one patient choose strongly agree against any question, then she or he will choose 1. Then if another patient choose select agree, then he will choose select 2. Then neutral 3. Disagree of any question, right? Then 4. Then strongly disagree, then he select 5, right? So in this way I have asked question to 400 depression patients, right? And here I'm giving example. Suppose, and here and I can show you all the data from here, right? From here I am showing all the data. So data is given here. This is the data you can see. A1, A2, A3, right? Then B1, B2, B3, and then C1, C2, right? We have the data all here, and they are from 1 to 5. Maybe some patient may write something wrongly, but there should be 1 to 5. So here I can see they are 1 to 5. You can see either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, right? So actually these are their answers to my questions, right? So you see 400, right? You see 400 patient I have made questions, right? Also this side you can see. So these are the patient, right? Number of patients. So that is 400. Okay, we are done so far. Okay, and here suppose here example A1, A2 and A3 are the indicators of unobserved variable, that is depression, right? Here you can see. So A1, A2, A3 are the indicators of our variable, that is depression. And here depression is the dependent variable, and while family environment and economic situation are the independent variables. That means family environment and economic situation actually are the factors behind the depression, right? And actually this one is a very simple model, and of course you can develop the model further, but here this one is just example that how to develop a structural equation model. And so we are ready to go for developing our structural equation models, and there are two estimates all the time. One is unstandardized, then standardized. Structural equation model has two shapes. One is unstandardized and one is standardized. So first I shall estimate unstandardized, and then I shall estimate standardized estimates. Okay. So then I proceed to estimate the model. Okay. So I go to statistics, right? Then I go to structural equation model, then model building and estimation, right? Okay, so this this is the place where I can make the model. So here I click, I make it slightly big, right? So I make it suppose 7, and here I make it suppose 5, right? Okay, so the place actually become big. Okay, then okay, here you can see many icons, right? So I choose this icon, right? This icon, click, and okay, I make the whole things big, right? And I choose this icon and I put it here, the icon, right? Okay, so the latent variable, the first variable is depression, right? That I write, and the second one, the measurement variables or the indicators to measure depression. So those are A1, A2, A3 that I select, and the direction I take it in the left direction, right? You can see there are many ways you can do. I choose the left direction, right? Then I press OK. Yes, so it is set. Okay, sorry. So I make it further big. View, I make it suppose 125 so that you can see better, right? Okay. Okay, the second variable is family environment, right? Okay, so that I develop also here. Suppose I click here, I click here. Oh, sorry, I have to select it first. I have to select it. Then I click here. Okay, so the second latent variable is family environment. I just write environment, right? I just write environment, and she has how many? Three variables: B1, B2 and B3, and the direction I put it at the right direction to estimate it. Okay, environment right direction. Okay, so that is my second variable, right? Environment, depression, and then finally I have one more variable that is called economic situation. So I select this one. So I click here. So economic situation, I just write it economic, right? Economic. Okay, and here there are only two indicators, right? So I take two, and here I select right. Okay, so it has been overlapped, so I just take it down slightly. Just a minute. I just deselect this one, deselect, and deselect. Okay, then I have to do something here. Sorry, it is coming up again and again. So I come here, right? I take it down slightly. I take the whole things down because it is, I take it down. Okay, and I take it this way slightly. Okay, and make this one big. I just rearrange slightly. Okay. I'm just rearranging, that's all. Okay, I think I am done so far. Okay. Okay. And here you see these are the boxes are called observed variables. When the boxes is called observed variables, and when it is round shaped we call it unobserved variables or latent variable, right? Latent variable. And when and this A1 also called dependent variable because the arrow is coming to it. When the arrow goes to it, then the variable is called dependent variable, or we can also call endogenous variable. And this round one, the arrow is going from it, so this one is called independent variables all the time, or this variable also called exogenous variable, independent or exogenous, or we can call it also latent variable. And these are all error term. These are error. And this is round shaped, meaning that this one is also unobserved variables, right? Because it is round shaped. Okay, now what we have done, so last time I said that depression is our dependent variable and environment and economics, family environment and economic condition are the independent variable. So we can set the model in that way. So I select this path diagram, I select this arrow or the path, right? We call it also path, and take a path from here to here and also take a path from here to here, right? And also I want to check whether there is a association shape or not between environment and economic. So then I select this one, add covariance, then I put it like that, right? I put it like that. Okay, then I select this one and delete this one. Okay. So and also it is a error term, you know. So when there is a regression line, then there must be one error, right? So this error actually coming from environment, economic and depression. So this one is a regression model. So from this model there must be one error. So it is that error, right? Okay. So now we are set. We can run this model easily because everything is set. And last time I said that there are two types of estimate. One is unstandardized and the second one is standardized, right? Okay. And that, so first we shall estimate the unstandardized one. Okay, here I can show you one more thing. Okay, this error is for what? E2. This error actually, as I told you, every regression must have a error. So here this variable is a independent variable and a1 is a dependent variable, and here will be a regression model, and that model must have one error. That is why the error is here. And also this one, you can say this one also another error, because here this one is a independent variable and this one is the dependent variable, and this one is a model, so this model must have an error, right? But so you can see two things. This depression model, this depression variable, one time she is independent variable, at the same time she is also dependent variable. So suppose when you consider this model, environment and economic, and so then she is dependent variable and she has an error, right? But when you consider this model, this variable and this variable, then she become independent variable and A1 become dependent variable, meaning that this depression, one time she is dependent variable, at the same time she is independent variable. Okay, now we can estimate the model, and I told you there are two ways. One is unstandardized and the second one is standardized. Okay, so first I estimate unstandardized. Okay, so how to go? I go to estimations and I select estimate. Okay, and there are so many method, right? Method. So I select the first one, maximum likelihood method, and I select OK to estimate. So it is coming up gradually. So I think you have to wait for a while. Yeah, the result has come up already, right? So here you can see this is 0.91. Actually 0.91 we can call it regression weight. And what about this one? 1.1 is also regression weight. 0.37 is also regression weight, and 0.15 is also weight of the regression. But this 0.22 actually is the covariance between environment and economic, right? Right. 0.22 is the covariance between environment and economic. And also this one 0.83 also can be called as regression weight. Okay, and actually this arrow also called path, right? Path, right? This arrow also called path. Path means direction, right? Okay, and we can also see the result at the back. Just I minimize it, right? You can see the outcome here. The all outcomes you can see from here. And actually this is my command, right? This is the command, right? Okay, and this is and as I told you, endogenous variables, and these are all endogenous variables or dependent variable, and the latent variable is the depression and so on. And so in this way the model is structural equation model, right, that we have estimated. Okay, and here is two part. One is structural, one is measurement. Okay, so there are two part, but actually we are considering this part, that is our actually main part, right? Environment and economic, right? So these two are independent variable, and the depression is the dependent variable, right? Actually this is our main model. Actually we want to check whether environment, family environment and economic condition can affect depression or not. That we want to check actually. And you can see there is a coefficient, standard error, Z statistics, and p-value. So normally, suppose here Z value is 5.09. How to get this one? So the formula is coefficient divided by standard error, you can get Z statistics, meaning that this one 0.37 divided by 0.07, you can get 5.09, and probability is almost zero, corresponding probability. Okay, so in the same way, how to get 1.58? This divided by this, you can get 1.58 and corresponding probability. Okay, that is 11.3%. Okay, first I check one by one. The first question, whether environment is a significant variable to explain depression or not. That we want to check first. So here I check p-value, probability value, which is very small, less than 5%. And when the p-value is less than 5%, then that particular variable becomes significant. So meaning that our independent variable, which is environment, is a significant variable to explain our dependent variable, which is depression. Okay, that is the first outcome. And the second variable, whether economic condition is significant or not. So I check the p-value, that is 11.3%, which is more than 5%, meaning that economic condition is not a significant variable to explain depression. Okay, so that is our main model that we have done already, and that is under structural. And now we can also talk about measurement variable, right? Because here I told you A1, A2, A3 are the dependent variable, and depression is the independent variable. Okay, so first I talk about this one, depression. Whether this depression is a significant variable to explain A2. So here is the p-value. Yes, p-value is very small, less than 5%. So depression is a significant variable to explain A2. So then we can say, suppose talk about environment. Is it a significant variable to explain our dependent variable B2? Yes, because p-value is very small, less than 5%. So in this way, I think all the variables are significant. Even this one, is it significant? Yes, because probability value is 0.6%, which is less than 5%. So economic is a significant variable to explain C2. Okay, and we have one more issue, whether there is a covariance between environment and economic or not. that we also want to check whether there is a covariance or not. And this is the coefficient of that covariance, that is 0.21, that is the covariance. And here is the null hypothesis is that there is no covariance between two variables. There is no covariance between two variables in the population. And alternative, there is covariance between two variables in the population. And here, what is the p-value? The probability value is 1.1%, right? 1.1%, which is less than 5%, meaning that we can reject the null hypothesis and can accept the alternative hypothesis, meaning that there is a covariance between environment and economic in the population, and it is a positive covariance, right, between these two variables. It is a positive covariance between these two variables. Okay, so that is our decision. Okay, now we can check about the model fitting, whether the model is fitted or not. That we want to check, model fit, right? And we have some criteria. There are few criteria, right? So the criteria are here. I can show you the criteria. Model fit criteria. When a model is fitted, okay, number one criteria, chi-square should not be significant, and RMSEA value should be less than 0.05, and CFI and TLI should be close to 1, right? So there are many criteria. Here I choose only 3, right? Okay, then we check what happens here, what happens in our model, right? Okay, then we check our, oh, sorry, why is our model, why is the result? This is our result. Okay, so first I check this one. Okay, our chi-square value. Here you can see the chi-square value, the probability value is significant because p-value is less than 5%, right? So meaning that this model is not fitted properly, right? We cannot accept the model. We can only accept the model if the p-value is more than 5%. But here p-value is less than 5%, meaning that it is significant. So when it is significant, then the model is not fitted. Okay, now we can check also other criteria. How to check? I go to statistics, right? I go to my model. I come here. Other criteria. I go to estimations and goodness of fit. Overall goodness of fit, I choose. Right. And here statistics to be displayed, I select it. And there are so many criteria. I choose all of the above, right? All of the above I choose, then I press OK. So the result has come up already at the back. You can see. I see the result has come up. Okay, so according to the chi-square criteria, it is significant, meaning that model is not fitted. Okay, but what about RMSEA? What is the value? The value should be less than 0.05, right? The value should be less than 0.05, but here the value is actually high, right? 0.06. So we can say the model is not fitted. Okay. And finally, we can say CFI and TLI, and these two should be close to 1. Okay, CFI is 0.95. Yes, it is close to 1. And TLI is also 0.92. That is close to 1. So, from the CFI and TLI, then model is fit, right? But so there is a now confusion, right? Which criteria you shall be choosing? Suppose if you choose chi-square value, right? Then if you choose RMSEA value, then model is not fitted. We cannot accept the model. But if you choose CFI or TLI, we can accept the model. Now it is up to you to decide which method you will choose to decide. It is up to you completely, right? Okay. Okay, so this part is done so far. Okay, so now we can estimate the standardized estimates, right? Because these are the outcomes of the unstandardized, but we want to estimate the standardized one, right? Okay, what I do, I clear all result, right? I clear all result, and I go to my model, and I also clear the result, right? Because this result is unstandardized. I clear it, so it is now clear, right? Okay, now I shall estimate the standardized estimates, right? So as before, I go to estimation and I select estimate. Then I select, okay, but this time you have to select the standardized estimates, otherwise result will not come. That means you have to select reporting, then you have to select this particular button. Only then standardized coefficient and values will come. And if you do not select this one, then unstandardized value will come up. So I select it already, then I press OK, and the result is coming up gradually. Okay, the result has come up. I make it big slightly so that you can see better, right? Just 1 minute. Okay, so this is the outcome of the result. So everything remain unchanged, right? So this one is the regression weight. So this is the regression weight as before, and everything remain unchanged, and but only this one. So last time this one was actually was actually covariance, but now this time this 0.24 is correlation, because we are using standardized estimates. And when we use the standardized estimates, then this line is actually not covariance, but it is correlation, and that is 0.24, and that is a positive correlation between environment and economy. Okay, now we can check the result at the back. The result has come up, you can see. So as before, result has come up. Okay, it is standardized, right? You can see the outcome. And as before, there are two things. One is structural and one is measurement. But structural actually our main concern. So here as before, whether an environment is a significant variable, yes, it is, because the probability value is less than 5%. So environment is a significant variable to explain depression. Then economic, is it significant? No. Why? Probability value is 9.3%, which is more than 5%. So economic is not a significant variable to explain depression, and that is our dependent variable. Okay, now we talk about measurement. Suppose this one, whether depression is a significant variable to explain A2. Yes, because probability value is very small. So depression is a significant variable to explain A2. So in the similar way, you can check all the p value, right, as before, right, to check, right. So I think it is all significant, right. P values are very small, right, all are significant. Okay, now we talk about this one, the covariance between environment and economic. Actually now this thing actually will estimate correlation, because this estimation is under standardized. Okay, so what is our null hypothesis? There is no correlation between environment and economic in the population. An alternative, yes, there is correlation between these two variables, right? And what is our p value? P value is very small, that is around 0.1%, which is less than 5%, meaning that we can reject the null hypothesis and can accept the alternative hypothesis, meaning that there is a correlation between environment and economic in the population, and it has a positive correlation. Okay, that means if the that means environment and economic, they move together, right? They move together in the same direction. Okay, so this part is done. Now we choose about the model fit, right? Model fit, and you can see by default the chi-square value is given already by default, whether the model is fit or not, right? It is already given here. Okay, so what we can do, actually this is actually one criteria out of many. What I do, I take all the criteria as before, right? Then we decide, right? So we come to our model and we go to estimate and goodness of fit, overall goodness of fit as before. Then we select all, right? Select all, right? As before, and okay. When the result is coming up, and you see there are many criteria. So actually out of many criteria we have chosen only 4 criteria to decide. Okay, so first we talk about this criteria. The probability value is significant, so meaning that the model is not fitted because the p-value is very small, so it is significant, so model is not fitted. It must be non-significant to be model fit. Okay. Then the second thing, RMSA value. Okay, this value actually should be less than 0.05, but this one actually more than that, so model is not fitted. And CFI, but here the problem is that as before, CFI and TLI, these two values are close to 1, so model is fitted, right? Okay, now there is a confusion. Okay, according to CFI and TLI, model is fitted, but according to RMCA and chi-square, model is not fitted. Now it is up to you to decide which criteria you shall be choosing to decide. It is absolutely on you, right? Okay, so this one is done, standardized estimates, and I can show you some more things if you want to check. Say, okay, here, okay, this estimate is what? Standardized, right? Right? Standardized estimate, but you can change it. You can see. Okay, if you see, just click on the view. If you deselect this one, so the result will change. So this result actually unstandardized, right? And if you go there again to the view and select standardized, and the result will change. So this result is standardized. So you can do it all the time, right? Okay, if you deselect it, so the result has become unstandardized again. So that is the thing. You can switch anytime, right? You can switch anytime. Okay. And here you can see this is a weight is a positive. That means and it is also positive weight, right? Not negative. Positive weight, right? This regression weight is a positive, not negative. And what about here? I can check here. Standardized. Yes, also the coefficient is positive, right? Right? And here is positive, right? That means the relation between environment and depression is positive, because positive sign, right? And also the this direction is a positive between economic and depression. But the question is that whether environment and economic is a significant variable or not, right? That we have already checked. We have already checked whether environment and economic they are significant variable or not to explain our dependent variable, which is called depression. Okay, thank you very much for being with me for a while.